All right, so welcome to your deep dive.
Hmm.
Today, we're going to be looking at
Okay.
fast sex, how to get laid in a day or less. Just the title alone is going to raise some eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to try to unpack this, see what the author's approach is all about,
All
and
right.
and without endorsing any of his potentially offensive views,
Right.
see if we can learn anything about the psychology
Yeah.
behind his methods.
So starting right off the bat, the title's fascinating.
Yeah.
Fast sex. I mean, come on, it's tapping into this
You're right.
primal desire for connection, right?
Absolutely.
Albeit in a very, very crude way.
Yeah, that's where a deep dive begins.
Okay.
The author just comes right out and says, look,
Uh-huh.
success with women comes down to
Yeah.
adopting a jerk mindset
Okay.
and manipulating their emotions.
Oh, wow.
And he even gives this personal story about a woman named Janet,
Oh.
where he acted like a jerk, and initially it worked. But then when he softened his approach, she lost interest.
Interesting.
So it's like a cleverly crafted anecdote, right?
Right.
Kind of plays into that whole male fantasy, like women secretly want the bad boy.
Yeah, totally.
And that reinforces his whole never give a woman the benefit of the doubt rule.
Right. So it's all about like setting the stage
Yeah.
for this kind of adversarial
Right.
approach to seduction.
It's like a battle against what he calls shit tests.
Ooh, yeah.
He believes women intentionally create these challenges
Right.
to test a man's,
Resolve.
to see if he'll compromise his jerk persona.
So it's not just about attitude,
Yeah.
this jerk philosophy.
Yeah.
It's tied to these techniques,
Exactly.
these manipulative techniques.
Yeah.
And there's one in particular
Yeah.
he calls denial of affirmation.
Okay, DOA.
DOA, yeah.
What's that all about?
Well, he gives this example. He says, like, imagine a man criticizing a woman's lipstick
Right.
and then
Yeah.
offering advice on how to fix it.
So he's putting her down.
Yeah, but it's more than that.
Okay.
It's positioning himself as this expert,
Yeah, okay.
right? Like, he's the one who can improve her.
So it's a power play.
Yeah, it's a power play disguised as helpfulness, you know?
And he actually encourages men
Yeah.
to study women's magazines.
Really?
But not to understand them better.
Sure.
It's to gain knowledge,
Uh-huh.
to exploit those insecurities.
Oh, wow, that's messed up.
Like weaponized fashion advice.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Right.
That is so messed up.
It's calculated, it's manipulative,
Yeah.
but he argues it's necessary
Okay.
because women have this resistance.
Resistance?
He believes they instinctively come up with reasons why they shouldn't sleep with a man.
Right.
So seduction is about overriding.
Overriding.
Yeah, like a battle
Wow.
to overcome her objections.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, he uses this weird analogy about elements in a woman's brain.
Elements.
Yeah, and each one represents a yes or no to sex.
Uh-huh.
The goal is to tip the scales towards yes.
I mean, that sounds
Yeah.
pretty
It's
dehumanizing.
reducing human interaction to this
Yeah.
weird calculation.
So where do these techniques come
Yeah,
in?
well, that's where he brings in the psychology.
Yeah.
He talks about this idea of framing.
Framing.
Yeah, like controlling the narrative,
Okay.
influencing how she perceives the situation.
Okay, interesting.
He's big on rapport, but not in a genuine way.
Right.
It's more about establishing a connection
Uh-huh.
to exploit her vulnerabilities.
Gotcha.
And to do that, he relies on pacing and leading.
Pacing and leading.
Yeah, using language and body language
Okay.
to manage her emotional state.
So he's like taking control of the interaction.
Exactly. And he even name drops Robert Cialdini.
Cialdini.
Yeah.
The influence guy.
Yeah, the author of Influence, the
Right.
psychology of persuasion.
Oh, wow.
So he's drawing from those principles, but
Yeah.
twisting them for his own manipulative ends.
So which principles?
Well, he focuses on liking,
Okay.
social proof, authority, and scarcity.
Uh-huh.
And he gives examples of using presuppositions, cause and effect language,
Right.
and double binds,
Classic NLP techniques.
But again, in a way that feels
Yeah.
ethically questionable.
I mean, that's putting it lightly.
And then there's his take on the whole let's just be friends thing.
Let's just be friends. That's got to be a dead end for his strategy, right?
You'd think so.
Yeah.
But he sees it as another opportunity for manipulation.
Really?
Yale offers two options.
Okay.
Either reject the friendship outright
Okay.
to reinforce that jerk persona,
Right.
or pretend to agree
Uh-huh.
while continuing to use those manipulative techniques.
So basically he's saying to use friendship as a cover
Yeah,
to get what he wants.
exactly. It's turning LJBF
What's just
into FWB.
friends with benefits.
Right. It's all very...
I mean, that's messed up.
To say the least, it's unsettling.
It is.
And then he gets to his, what he calls his masterpiece.
Oh, no.
It's called the KO script.
The KO script. What's that?
He presents it as the culmination of his approach. This meticulously crafted dialogue that's supposed to seduce a woman in a very short amount of time.
So like a magic spell.
He walks the reader through it, pointing out elements like framing, eliciting criteria, time distortion, anchoring, and future pacing.
Wow.
But then, here's the thing. He warns that it's so powerful that it could attract obsessive people.
Oh, so he's acknowledging
Well,
there could be some negative consequences.
he acknowledges the potential for harm.
Yeah.
But he doesn't abandon the technique.
Yeah.
He just says, be careful.
It's like he's handing someone a loaded gun and saying, be careful with this.
Exactly. But he's still handing it over.
Yeah, it's really irresponsible.
It is.
So I think this raises a big question.
Yeah.
Where does persuasion end and coercion begin?
That's something we're going to have to explore as we keep going.
And he doesn't just stop at, like, defending yourself against these chick tactics.
Right.
He actually says to use them against women.
So he's saying to fight fire with fire.
Exactly. Like, if they're playing the game, you got to learn the rules and play to win.
But doesn't that just create this, like,
it does
cycle of manipulation and distrust?
It does. It definitely does.
I mean, where's the genuine connection in that?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't really address that.
Right.
He's so focused on winning that he kind of misses the point of a relationship,
It's all about fast sex for him.
Oh, yeah. He's obsessed with
That's
that.
like getting it done.
He even calls it the 241 method.
24 hours, one
woman.
Right.
Like it's some kind of...
It's like a speed run. Yeah.
Of seduction.
It's bizarre, but the thing is, he wants you to believe you can seduce any woman in a day.
So it's like mind over matter.
Yeah, and he talks about this guy, Bruce, yeah, who supposedly has, like, a harem.
Wait, a harem? It's like, seriously?
It's an analogy, but his point is that Bruce doesn't have to chase women because he's got so many options.
So it's all about projecting this image.
Yeah.
Of, like...
abundance.
Yeah, like you're so desirable.
Exactly.
That women are just throwing themselves at you.
He even says to, like... remember
what?
Past conquests.
Oh, God.
To boost your confidence,
But isn't that, like,
it is
kind of manipulative?
Totally, like, creating this fake persona.
Right, to attract women.
Exactly. It's all about getting what he wants, no matter what.
And it all comes back to that idea.
It does. But women are driven by emotions. Logic, so you just gotta...
bypass.
Yeah, bypass that rational mind.
Yeah, he actually encourages exploiting insecurities.
Oh, wow.
To get what you want. Remember that DOA technique?
Right, the denial of affirmation.
He's preying on their desire for validation and using it against them.
It's like he's weaponizing insecurity.
It is. It's really messed up.
I mean, he's got even more tricks up his sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
What else?
He talks about fractionation.
Fractionation, what's that?
It's like taking a woman on this emotional roller coaster.
Okay.
Shifting between positive and negative.
Deliberately.
Yeah, to create dependency.
So she craves the attention.
Exactly.
It's pretty messed up.
It is.
I mean, this guy's a piece of work.
Yeah, he also talks about using hypnotic language.
Wait, hypnotic language? Like, really?
Yeah, to influence the subconscious.
So he's trying to, like, program women.
Yeah, using embedded commands.
Yeah.
Presuppositions, all these linguistic tricks.
So they don't even know they're being manipulated.
It's a real-life Manchurian candidate.
Yeah, that's pretty disturbing.
It is very disturbing.
So we've got this guy who's advocating for manipulation, control.
Disrespect.
Disrespect.
I mean, where does it end?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
What are the consequences of all this manipulation?
We've got to consider that. So we've seen just how manipulative this guy's tactics can be.
Yeah.
But does he ever, like, acknowledge the potential downsides?
Well, it's interesting. He doesn't really express concern for, like, the women.
Right.
But he does hint at some negative consequences.
Okay, like what?
Remember the KO script?
Yeah.
He warns about attracting obsessive types.
Right. And he also mentioned women getting emotionally attached.
Exactly. So he knows there can be an impact.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really take responsibility.
It's like a footnote. It is. Like a little disclaimer.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this might mess someone up.
But that's your problem, not mine.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about, like, his understanding of women?
Oh, that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, what does he think women actually want?
He's got a whole section on it, and it's basically a bunch of stereotypes and assumptions.
Okay, hit me with it.
He says women want a man who's strong.
Oh, wow.
Dominant, in control, you know.
Like the classic alpha male?
Yeah, the protector, the provider.
Really playing into those gender roles?
Yeah. He even suggests women secretly enjoy being dominated. Seriously? Yeah, like they crave a man who takes charge.
It's a pretty narrow view.
It is very reductive.
And there's no evidence for any of this, right?
None. Actually, research shows people are attracted to kindness, compassion, respect.
Right. All the things this guy's missing.
Exactly. It's like he's projecting his own fantasies.
He is. Justifying his approach.
And he constantly reinforces this idea of being assertive, never showing weakness.
Nice guys finish last.
Right, that kind of thing.
But it's not just limiting, it's harmful.
It is. It creates this toxic idea of masculinity.
And toxic relationships, too.
Absolutely. If you're always controlling, manipulating, there's no real connection.
So what have we learned from all this?
I think the big takeaway is manipulation might get you somewhere,
right?
But it comes at a cost.
It does. It undermines trust. Destroys intimacy.
It perpetuates these harmful stereotypes.
Right. It's like a shortcut.
It is.
That leads to a dead end.
Exactly.
We've been on a pretty wild ride unpacking this guy's philosophy.
Yeah, it's been eye-opening.
But there's a difference between attraction.
Huge difference.
And manipulation. And I think that's the key.
It is. Genuine connection, real intimacy.
It comes from respect, honesty.
Vulnerability, being your true self.
So, as we wrap this up,
Yeah.
Let's leave our listeners with a question. Can you really build something lasting on a foundation of lies and manipulation?
That's for you to decide.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.